Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the Loshak the Bag Show for Thursday morning, January 4th. Of course, we do the show twice a day, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And Jimmy the Bag and I, of course, give our official picks every day. We come to you from SportsBookReview.com. Jimmy the Bag, yesterday was a frustrating day for me, man. Yesterday was a frustrating day for me. I had another big losing day in college basketball. Of course, now after having like 3 big losing days out of the last 4 days, I'm now only up 20 units on the year in these shows. But still, I'm telling you, man, it's just early January. I got to just give like 1 or 2 picks a day, and then in 2 or 3 weeks, things will start to come together for me like they do every year. Yesterday was frustrating. A bunch of those totals that I mentioned it. I was like, that under in the UConn game. I mentioned it in the video. I was like, there's so many. I've been here before. My numbers are just off in college basketball in like the first 2 or 3 weeks of January.
It was a tough card yesterday, whereas 2 days ago I loved the card so much. I agree. I think I made a couple too many picks yesterday in college basketball, but I stayed hot in NBA.
Yeah. On the other hand, Jimmy the Bag 5-1, I believe, in NBA. Yeah. Even I had a winning day in NBA, and I didn't give some of my leans, like the friggin' over in the LA, the OKC game. Why didn't I just give that one? But I did go with I did have the balls to give the under in the Minnesota-Brooklyn game, which of course went way under. And in NHL, I broke even. You had a 1 loser, a 1 unit losing day. The over. I knew that was a good cash. So I ate a few units back in my losing record in NBA, maintained my positive record in NHL, and after the big losing day in college basketball, I'm now only up 20 units on the year. But yeah, man, Jimmy the Bag. I know, like at this time of year, it's those bets like the Florida State at home over UNC and Wake Forest over Syracuse and those kinds of bets that are the solid bets, a few on the card. But it's just, maybe some people have a great read on college basketball in early January, but this every year my numbers are just off, and I think I know why. I think it's because the teams make a change in their strategies and approaches that the way I look for edges just is not captured by the sample size that I have to work with, and then in late January it starts to become captured again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was
we
a
all
tricky
have our
card.
approaches.
Tricky card yesterday, and it's such a big card today.
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to get overwhelmed.
Yes. Don't get overwhelmed, Jimmy the Bag. You are still doing great in college basketball recently, even though yesterday was a losing day for you. And I will look at my numbers, and I'll have every game crunched as far as the numbers are concerned, and I will try to pare it down to only give the few plays that I definitely feel are the solid ones. Yesterday, what were the UConn and the South Florida totals? I mentioned in this show. I was like, those are just the kinds of plays that the Rhode Island over. The Richmond game went to OT, so I can forgive myself on that one. The BC game I just kind of got unlucky with. They got blown out in the first half and then came back to cover the full game, And in college basketball, you never quite know. It's hard to predict which teams are going to do well in the first half, which teams are going to do well in the second half. The Clemson-BC game, I took the first half over. That one lost, but I didn't take the full game over. That one cashed. It's a little bit of snake biting going on there as well. All right, okay. Overall, I think I'll be okay long term in college basketball. But even if you know that, it's just the next day is always just it's not that I'm angry. I'm just frustrated. It's annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we can't let it get to us. You're up over 20 units in
exactly.
NCAA.
We cannot let it get to us. That was how many? That was like maybe the how long have I been doing this? That was maybe the 7,538th day in a row that I've been betting on sports consistently, so you'd think that I'd be over this, and I'm a lot better at it than I was back when I started in terms of not being affected by the previous day, but there's really no way around it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean...
if you're Clayton Kershaw and you give up a couple home runs, he's pissed off the next day. He's not saying, I'm Clayton Kershaw, it doesn't matter.
He's an intense guy.
Yeah.
But he has a pretty good life even when he's losing.
All right, so let's get into the picks. We're going to start with NBA. There's just 2 games on the card. Jimmy the Bag, of course. Hey, Juanma, you got the NBA record? Let's throw the fucking NBA record up there. Jimmy the Bag. Tomorrow I will figure out what your record is since the maybe we'll do like a little special on that speech that I gave. Remind folks when the actual show was, because Jimmy the Bag is now 119 and 102, up 14.5 units. ROI 6.1%, and just very recently, I know he was down about 11 units. That means you must be up about 25 units since that speech I will calculate it, and because there's only 2 games today, there's no way you can hemorrhage too many units, and I will calculate it, and maybe in tomorrow's show we will, you know what I wish you could do? I wish you could we could use video segments from past shows to like show them again. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, I'm sure we could get cuts.
You think so?
Cuts, for sure.
You think we have the tech capabilities for that?
I believe
I know
we do.
Wanma can do
We
it.
have it, of course, man.
Wanma has the talent, but does he have the time? Does the Best We Are Brass give him the time? That's what I don't know about, but that would be awesome. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a tribute and a retrospective to that speech and what happened since then, just because it'll be fun, right, Jim?
Oh man, it's ever since that speech, it's been the best run I've had in NBA in a long time.
So, once again, Jimmy the Bag up 14.5 units in NBA on the year. And I had a nice little day in NBA yesterday as well. Down just 4.8 units now on the year. We got 2 games, and one of them didn't have overnight lines, so I didn't even look at the game that didn't have overnight lines. But the OKC Clippers game, my first glance at it was think about the over at 213. It's now up to 213.5 or 214, even though OKC played yesterday and can be strong defensively. They're playing a lot better offensively. Clippers are going high scoring. Why would we not take the over here is my thought, but I didn't bet that one, and I'm probably not going to. Do you have anything to say about that game, Jim?
I thought the same thing, but I'm definitely going to keep rolling with OKC. This is a good spot. That's why we're getting -1.5 points. Clippers won 4 straight, 6 of 7. This next man up mentality is working for these guys. Undrafted 27-year-old CJ Williams went 7 for 10 for 18 points versus the Grizzlies. Lou Williams is coming off being named Western Conference Player of the Week. Clippers are now 17-19, making a run to the playoffs. But man, this Thunder team seems to have figured things out. They're coming off an annihilation of the Lakers. And, the betting on the Bulls and against the Lakers is a big reason that my numbers changed. The big 3 each got 20 points. George and Westbrook are also 1-2 in the league in steals. They're 12-5 in December. I don't mean to be overly confident, but I think the Thunder are low-hanging fruit. Ground fruit.
Wait, the Thunder?
Yes.
Really?
I do.
Wow. Wow. There has been a big line move in their favor. On the overnight line, the Clippers were -1. Now the Thunder are the favorite at -1.5. Did you know that, Jim?
I did, because even when I started this morning, it had already changed.
Yeah.
So I just think the Thunder are playing very well. We know that Westbrook loves playing in LA. These guys they love showtime. They love stars in the crowd. And the Clippers' next man up mentality is not going to continue to work. I love that it's working, and I like when teams come together through injuries. But yes, I like the Thunder, and I'm very interested in the over.
In the over, yeah. All right, so what official picks do you want to make
I'm
here?
definitely making the Thunder right now.
Okay, OKC. We won't be able to give you 1. We can give you 1.5. Let's give you the best line here. -105 at Bookmaker. -1.5. -105. And I was thinking about the over. Once again, there's some funny comments here. I'm going to get to some of the comments here. I'm going to get some of the funny comments. We do have a little bit of time because I don't think we're going to get to any college basketball breakdowns today. So once we do this in NHL, we'll have a little bit of time to look at some of these funny comments. People talking about my shirt, which I will talk about, and I also might have to shave. We'll talk about this maybe tomorrow and today, but I might have to change up my look. You know what I'm saying, Jimmy the Bag?
You've been mentioning this, and we're worried sick.
Yeah,
we do not want you to come in without that beautiful mustache.
There's only one reason why I would change my look, and it's a terrible reason, but you know what the reason is. So we'll get to that in a second. Jim's going to take OKC -1.5, -105, and yeah, my first glance, I thought the over. I didn't have the balls to take the OKC over yesterday, and that was an easy casher, obviously, but that was definitely my first thought.
I like the over here. I wonder if anybody's gonna. Well, I got all the guys are with me on OKC. But Nick Lamb says OKC versus Clippers over. Ian Jackson, I like the over in OKC. I think it's a good spot.
Funny guy. We got some comedians in here. They're like, we're not too interested in these 2 NBA games. We're making some jokes about Loshak's appearance. We got some nice comedians in here. For people who don't watch these videos live, there's some decent comedy writing that goes on in the chat box every day. Wouldn't you say that, Jim?
There is. It's very, very funny stuff. Yeah, I like it. And we got Adrian Nitu from saying hello from Romania. I like the over on OKC game tonight. You know what, Adrian? and Romania. I'm going to go with you guys. I love the Thunder at -1.5, and I'm going to add the over to that.
I wouldn't mind living in Romania. I'll tell you that one, Jim, too. I mean, I wouldn't mind that place at all. All right, you're going to take the over. LA Clippers, over the best line would be 213.5, but plus 100. 213.5 plus 100. That's the line right now at Pinnacle. Other places have 214, 213.5 -110, 213.5 plus 100.
Yeah, Luke Charleston says Carmelo is realizing his role. It's Westbrook's team. Thunder win tonight. Mr. Cloud Kicks feeling the Thunder. I just think this is a great spot. Great spot. Oh, we got Charles King in from Canada. Nice from Collingwood. Dope.
Funny comments here. More funny. The jokes is rolling in today. I thought this would be a low show because of the bad record in college basketball yesterday, although Jim killed it in NBA. But the jokes are rolling in. People still saying that it's a great show and making some funny-ass jokes. We'll review some of the funny comments. All right. And then Houston Golden State. You want to make a play on that one, Jim?
I don't at this point, but let's break it down and see if you guys have some angles that we're missing. Rockets looked very good in their first game without Harden, defeating the Magic 116-98. Thank God that we had the under there so that it didn't hurt us too bad. They led wire to wire. We're ahead by as many as 28. Chris Paul only had 8 points, but man, you see a great distributor at work. 6 Rockets were in double digits. He's just a great ball player.
Yeah.
Baba Mute and Harden will be out for the foreseeable future, and Nene doesn't play back-to-back, so he won't be active tonight. Curry looks as dangerous as ever. Hit the game-winning 3 last night in their win over the Mavericks. He has 70 points in his 2 games back, 67% from the field, 62% from 3. He can't keep this up, but his legs are obviously really fresh. He's really getting under his jump shots. Durant's playing incredibly well, 25 points, 12 boards, 6 assists, 4 blocks last night. And so Green, Pachulia, Iguodala, and Caspi, we'll see which guys continue to play. Last night, Green and Pachulia did. We'll see if they all play again today. I kind of want to wait just get more information on who's going to be in and who's going to be out.
And what do you think about maybe the under? Is that getting way too cute? No,
that was my lean. And at 230.5, I think I like it a lot. And look, Dan Kelly says I'm on the under 230.5. Stephen Mraz says Warriors and under is the play.
Dean Jackson saying despite line movement, I like the under, and that's just early line movement. We don't know what the line movement will be later, and in my personal opinion, the later line movement, although not always predictive, is sharper than the early line movement in my general experience. Right?
Yes, I agree. I think that. Is the play 230.5, the under there.
And what about Luke Charleston saying I like the over? Both teams will be launching threes all game. I see this total around 240.
You know that the reason why it wasn't already a pick of mine was because I was worried about Gordon and the boys just trying to jack up threes nonstop and show the Warriors that they can shoot even without Harden on the floor.
And the Clippers, of course, have been covering game in and game out, which I know you're aware of, Jimmy the Bag, but that's got to make you a little bit nervous, right?
It doesn't.
No.
I'm very confident in the Thunder. Yes, I know Thunder have been so bad against the spread. Clippers have been covering because they have not been getting respected. They look good with Griffin back, but this Thunder has gotten their shit together, it looks like to me. I know that they love playing in Los Angeles. They stomped on the Lakers last night, and they're going to beat the Clippers, I think, tonight.
All right, I'm going to hold off on both of these games for now. Jim has given OKC -1.5 and the OKC game over 213.5 plus 100. What do you think, Jim? Is that it for you?
Yes, it's. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to watch the line move. I do like the under there. I think that's too many points.
You want to give it? You want to wait?
No, I'm going to take the under in the Warriors-Rockets game, yes.
Okay. What about the people saying there's going to be launching threes all day? They're not going to play much defense. It's like a Thursday game.
You know what? I think that when both teams are on the second half of back-to-backs, not only is the perimeter defense a little soft, but the shooting is a little worse. They don't have their legs under them. I like it. I'm confident in this. In these plays. I like these 2 games. I studied them very hard, and I'm happy that a bunch of you guys are on the under to push me in that direction, and I'm excited to take it.
All right, it's under 230.5 plus 100 at Pinnacle right now. I'm coming off a nice little day. That was my lean. I'll go on that one with you for now, and I'll see what happens to the line. I'll look into it a little bit more, but I will throw that one on myself. Houston under 230.5 plus 100. 230.5 plus 100. That's the current line at Pinnacle. A lot of funny comments. Really enjoying all the comments that we're reading right now. All right. So far, Jim has given, that's it, on the NBA. The under in 230.5 plus 100 in the Houston game. I'm on that one as well. And Jim is on the over in the Clippers game, 213.5 plus 100 and OKC minus 1.5. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah, Stephen Mraz says, love the under, Jim, don't worry. And then Juan, our buddy Juan Juarez just joined us, and he says OKC over right away. JK says, let's hope OKC didn't hit up the booze and sleuths last night in LA. I guess that is a problem. I think that when you know you have back-to-back, you might not do that. But always... But
then again, when you know you're a professional athlete with millions of dollars and female attention everywhere, you might do it anyway, even on a back-to-back, right?
You might.
But you might not.
Again, this Thunder team has finally got their shit together, so I hope they didn't go out and party last night.
Right. Okay, so let's see. Funny stuff here. All right, let's move on, okay?
Yep.
All right. Now let's move on to NHL. Let's throw the NHL record up, because I am a little bit proud of this one, Jimmy the Bag. Yeah, look at that. I'm up 13.2 units on the year, 115 and 107. Jimmy the Bag is up 1.7 units on the year. Loves that volatility. Big underdogs. I'm up 13.2 units on the year, despite some losses that I had to eat for getting too cute with first period totals and stuff like that. Still up 13.2 units on the year in general. Trusted my instincts more than not, and been on the right side of things more than not by doing that. So I'm happy about that, Jimmy the Bag. NHL is a tricky sport.
It's a tricky sport.
But I'm happy about it. This is actually, I think, my best year ever in NHL. Definitely having a large part to do with hearing your breakdowns every day. Traditionally, NHL was a sport that I skipped in the regular season because I just wasn't that good at it. But this is my best year ever in NHL, so I'm proud of that. All right, so we got a huge card today. Someone was saying the Boston game is canceled. Is that true?
It's being postponed because of the snowstorm.
All right, well, that was probably going to be one of my picks.
It was going to be one of mine as well, but we've capped the whole thing. It'll be easy to hammer the next day.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's move on. Islanders and Philly is definitely an interesting game, right? The Islanders slumping badly. In general, they've been much better at home than on the road as well. Now they go on the road. Philly is no great shakes, but it's a low line. Is Philly maybe a good bet here, Jim? What do you think? Do they have what it takes to get a puck line win?
I think they could. It's an interesting play that you're thinking about, and I don't have an official pick on this so far after studying it. The issue with the Islanders, we've seen it affect lots of teams in hockey. They're missing two of their top four defensemen. Whenever that happens, you fade that team. It's just too important of a position. Now it looks like Boychuk is practicing and will be back tonight, and that's going to be a big boost, but Calvin Hahn is out, and that hurts him. Thomas Greiss is in, and he's a fucking sieve. He looks so bad. 3.92 goals against average, 884 save percentage. My initial thought was maybe taking the over. Islanders have lost 3 in a row, like you said. They're just 5-9-2 over their last 16. Their good start seems to feel like a distant memory. Elliott was pulled versus the Penguins, the Flyers goaltender, after allowing 4 goals on 13 shots. It was his 14th straight start, and we don't know who they're starting at this point. Both teams are coming off bad 5-1 losses at home. Both are terrible on the penalty kill. Flyers are 29th, Islanders are 30th. Both get off to terrible starts. The Flyers have led after the first period just once in their last 19 games, and the Islanders have allowed a league-high 46 goals in the first period. Yeah. It's an interesting spot.
Absolutely. Let me see. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. All right, the total is, though, it's high. It's up there. It's 6 minus 110, and the Islanders haven't been scoring. What's up with that? Is that fundamental or?
No, I think that's because they're not getting the outlet passes from the defense. Because we saw this Buffalo Sabres team that has a lot of talent at forward last in the league in offense because they're not getting those outlet passes. And it's so funny that team is constructed the way they are with Phil Housley as their coach, the guy who is one of the most gifted outlet passers in NHL history, and he's coaching a team that doesn't have a defenseman that can do it.
All right, let's see. There's some funny comments here that I could respond to, but we got to get to our handicapping. Actually, could you save whatever comments could you do? Save and send it to me.
I will, absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Save them right now so they don't get deleted. Thank you so much, Jimmy the Bag. All right, while Jimmy the Bag is saving, the next game that I'm going to think about looking at is Carolina at Pittsburgh. Obviously, Jimmy the Bag and I were both on Pittsburgh in their last game. Jim just took him on the money line. I took him on the -1 line, got a bigger casher on that one. We were both dead on that one. Is Pittsburgh maybe turning a major corner right now? Carolina, of course, had turned a major corner a few games ago, but now they've lost 2 in a row. Pitt coming off the big Philly win. And I'm thinking, despite the fact that Carolina had a recent run of success with which Jim was on a bunch of games, I'm thinking Pittsburgh might be the player. What do you think, Jim?
I agree. And if you could just talk for about 20 more seconds just so I can get this.
All right,
okay,
so Jim,
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm ready. Okay. Yes, I love this spot. I did a bunch of research on these Penguins this morning.
And like fucking research man here. Research is very important. You know what I'm saying?
It is
research
very important.
and numbers both equally important, and discipline, right? Research, numbers, discipline, all essential.
Yes, essential. And I was trying to figure out, and there was a bunch of articles out on this which helped, but I was trying to figure out why are the Pens so bad this year? And I got a bunch of great stats. So let's go over it. And now this is part of the reason why I thought that the Golden Knights would stop scoring at the rate they are, and that hasn't happened. But let's go over this. So first off, the Penguins have the worst goals for percentage at even strength in the entire league. Worse than the Coyotes. They have both the worst shooting percentage and the worst save percentage in the NHL. Crosby in his career has never had an even strength shooting percentage under 10. This year it's 4.2. Last year he scored 25 goals at 5-on-5. This year he has 3. In the first 62 NHL games of Matt Murray's career, he went 41, 12, and 5 with a .925 save percentage. This year's save percentage is .902. So first off, let's forget about Matt Murray for a second. These numbers will straighten out. And when they do, the Penguins will start flying.
And that's what I'm thinking we might already be seeing right now.
I agree with you. And the Hurricanes are playing so well that I was afraid to take the Penguins in this game, but I was certain that I'm taking the over 5.5.
Yes, absolutely. That was my best bet of the day, I think, in fact.
I love this over 5.5, and I'm jumping all over it. I went over this Canes roster, too, to see where they're getting, because we know about Aho, we know about Teravainen, but I did not know that much about Elias Lindholm. He was the 5th overall pick in 2013. He is a stud centerman, can play offensively and defensively. They have 8 players that have at least 20 points. I'm a little concerned just because I don't know if the Pens can cover the puck line, and that's I don't like taking favorites to win by a goal, because if you lose the extra units. So
right.
I'm just going to take the over 5.5 confidently.
Okay, over 5.5, just -110 right now. We'll see where that moves. And what do you think about doubling up, taking the first period over, getting a little bit cute, or think? What do you think? I mean,
I've been afraid to do that all year.
What do you think?
I've been afraid to do that all year.
Doubling up? Am I getting too cute there? What do you think, Jeremy?
I don't think you're getting too cute there, but I've been nervous about doing that. I'm just going to stay on the full game.
I'll take it. I'll take the first period over. I'm going to double up. I'm going to get a little cute there. If I get burned by it, fine. -113 is the line at Pinnacle, so I'm doubling up on the over. It was definitely a play that I felt I was like, I'm definitely going to make this one a pick. Jim is on it as well. Over 5.5, -110, and you know what? I am going to take Pittsburgh -1 though. I am going to take them. The money line part is -145, and the puck line part of that is, let me find it, Pittsburgh, not that big of a line. +202. I mean, I bet that one. I like it enough. I completely agree with you. I'm not too jazzed about betting against Carolina, but I think I like Pittsburgh enough. They're going to be at home. You know, they get the advantages of being at home, and they've had sort of a subpar season. So, you know, teams that are fundamentally good, that are coming off of an extended run of either mediocrity or a losing run, you know, I like for them to bounce back for more than a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Adam Booth says Housley coaches the Sabres, my friend. Adam Booth, that's who I was talking about, was the fucking Sabres. Okay, so there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Big Easy likes Pittsburgh and the over.
Yeah.
PB38 says Pens and Hawks may be ready to turn the corner. I keep waiting. I'm not going to wait for the Hawks because their power play is a sign of how bad they are offensively. Justin Searcy says Pens overvalued. And then Elio Rodriguez says this is a Carolina price. He likes the dog here.
Yeah, the problem is that you are taking a big favorite here against a good team, right?
Jim Rummy has a model that he's been using, and with the model against the Penguins, he's 10-7, up 14 units.
Okay, so what does he like today?
Jim Rummy, who do you like today? That's very
Unless he wants to
interesting.
just keep it to himself. All right, I'm going to take I'm taking the over 5.5 minus 110 and the first period over. Jim's taking the over 5.5 minus 110, and I will go with the Penguins minus 145 and plus 202 on the other side.
There's another over I like very much. Can I jump on it right now?
Here we go. Elio Rodriguez says, I'm on the other side. Carolina as a dog is a long-term smart play. Yes.
I get that. But I think the Penguins are going to turn the quarter too.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam Booth says, you were talking about how the Isles can't make a breakout pass. My example was how the Sabres can't make a breakout pass. Fuck off, Adam.
And then he goes, check yourself, amigo. Ooh.
What the fuck,
check
man?
Yourself.
Listen
check
to
yourself,
me fucking
bro.
clear, man. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Bro, you need to check yourself.
Man, I was making an example about two teams who can't make a breakout pass. Okay, my other game that I really like on the over is Sharks at Leafs. I really like the over 5.5. I think this is another spot. So these two over 5.5s were plays I really, really like. The Leafs have lost 3 straight, and they're coming off a 2-0 loss to the league-leading Lightning. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10. They got Nazem Kadri back. The Sharks looked very bad, losing the opener of their 5-game road trip 6-0, and then had a nice bounce back in a 4-1 victory. I think the Leafs will start scoring again. I just feel like this is a low spot where we're getting a nice line. Isn't it a plus? I believe it was a plus line when I was looking at it this morning. Is it still?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Eric Swiatek now saying, I don't bet against the Hurricanes. They're a tough team, and every time I bet against them, they burned me. Yeah, they are. It's fucking true, man.
They're it's a tough spot.
Especially as a dog. All right, well, I've given the pick. I bet it. I'll go with it, but I certainly understand all the people's concerns. All right, so you want to take the over in San Jose, Toronto?
I do. I want to take the over in San Jose, Toronto, and I like it. I think this is a spot where there's going to be goals right now. Now, CRC doesn't like it because, the Sharks are not a high-scoring team. But I think the Leafs will start scoring again. And when they do, I'm going to take advantage of the 5.5 lines because when they start scoring again, we're going to start seeing those 6.
Yeah, that one kind of makes me nervous, but I don't have a good reason. I'm certainly not going to take the under on that one. James Ross says the Sharks are 7-0 last 7 meetings in Toronto. Sharks are 14-2-2 in the last 18 meetings. The under is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. If you want the over, it's 5.5 minus 105.
Wow, those are great stats, James. I know this is sort of against the spot. But yes, I like the over here. Not quite as much as the Hurricanes Penguins. I'm with you, but I think that I've got to take advantage of these 5.5 lines with the Leafs right now.
Dennis Schultz says stats that include any season other than this one are useless in general. Although if it's the same coach, the same players, then they can be from the past year or two, same systems. They can be illuminating in ways, right?
They can be. I think this is going to be an exciting game with Marlowe playing against his old team. I just expect the Leafs to start scoring again.
Yeah.
And also the Sharks have been very good on the power play. I think this is a good spot for the over, but as I say that, I think the Hurricanes Penguins over is better.
Ryan Cartwright with a simple comment. Awesome show. Thank you so much, Ryan Cartwright. I love those positive comments. All right, what else do you like in Jimmy the Bag?
Also, our man Smooth Godwin had a big night. He hit a pick 6, and the bookie hated him, which is great news, man.
Wow,
keep making
very
that fucking
nice.
money, my friend.
And absolutely, to maintain those profits, use proper money management going forward. Congratulations, Smooth Godwin. All right, let's bounce to another interesting game. Let's talk about the Vegas game, and let's talk about the Nashville game coming off of the Vegas game. Vegas is so interesting that now it's interesting to talk about teams playing the next game after playing Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Is this the greatest story in NHL history?
It is. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
All right, so I guess let's start with Vegas. They've now won 4 in a row on the road. Last 4 road games on the road. So now it's their massive home advantage is starting to turn into a massive road advantage, and that's the only place you should play, except for the odd outdoors exhibition game. They're at St. Louis, a very beatable team, although they've won their last 2 games in a row. Once again, I think I'm staying off this, but it's certainly another interesting situation. What do you think, Jim?
It's a very interesting situation. Another interesting situation started on the other side with the Blues because Carter Hutton is making a statement to become the number 1 goalie in St. Louis. After that shootout victory over the Devils, he's now 7-3-0, 1.70 goals against average, .944 save percentage this year. And their coach said, I'm playing him. And it's not because of an injury, because there was an injury going to their number 1, but now they're just going to keep going with Hutton. The Blues continue to have a difficult time scoring without Jaden Schwartz. They now have 17 goals in their last 10 games. And who is going to get in the way of Vegas? They're on an 8-game winning streak, 12-1 in their last 13 contests, second in the league in offense, 10th in goals against. In saying all that, they're being overvalued. You're just not getting the right number on Vegas right now. Can you believe the Blues were the second best team in the conference. They're now the third best team in the conference. And I know they're not playing well, but can you believe an expansion team going into St. Louis and it's basically a pick'em?
Yeah, I was thinking about the under on this one. St. Louis, of course, has been a dead under trender for a while now. On the year, they've been a strong under trender overall. They can score, but I'm thinking in this spot with Fleury in goal, maybe we take a shot with the under. What do you think about that one,
Well,
Jim?
Rem Most is saying that right now. Is that up as big as it is? Is it at 6?
Oh, no, 6s. If it was
Okay.
6s, that would be a definite play.
Yeah.
It is 5.5, but it's only 5.5 minus 105. So if you wanted to buy to 6, most places you could buy to like minus 160, which might be worth doing.
It might be worth doing,
But
yeah.
if you want to take 5.5, it's just minus 105 at Bookmaker.
Yeah, maybe I'm just being a pussy, but I've not been able to figure out Golden Knights' run, and I'm just staying off of all these games.
Okay, and what do you think? What's your take on on Vegas in terms of their scoring prowess, and especially on the road, especially going up against a team like St. Louis? You think it could be contained?
I think the under is the play.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. The under is the play, and I'm going to jump on it with you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it just makes so much sense. The more I think about it, I don't know why I didn't originally jump on it. It just makes sense. The Vegas are a mad forechecking team, and their scoring has gone down like I predicted, and I think that will continue to happen. And the Blues can't score. Carter Hutton's playing great. The Vegas is getting great goaltending. The under is the play here. I don't know why I didn't make it earlier. It makes.
I was thinking about again getting cute and just taking the first period under because I'm figuring if there's 2 goals scored in the first period, I wouldn't really want to have the full game at 5.5 on this one, right?
Yeah.
And I could see it also being a tight 3-2 game and winding up being threatened by so I'm thinking about first period. What do you think about that, Jim?
I get it. The angle makes sense to me.
I'm just taking the first period, and it's going to be minus 101. That's the line at Pinnacle. First period under in Vegas and St. Louis, although maybe in the afternoon show I will throw on the full game under, although my guess is that the line will get bet down, although it's weird. See, this is another situation where I'm not sure why the line is where it is. St. Louis has been a dead under trender. Why is it not at least minus 115?
That's a really good point, but I think that Hutton is going to take this opportunity and run with it.
Sal Nigro says Dana Lane earlier loved the over in Vegas Blues game. Loved it. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Maybe we should hold off on that one, Jim.
Eric Swiatek says, yeah, I had a strong underlean, but then Dana Lane talked me off of it earlier today.
I wonder what Dana Lane's reasoning was. All right, I will.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, Eric Swiatek says best bet may be a complete pass. I'm going to go with the first period under, though, minus 101. What are you going to do here, Jim?
I'm going to stay and study it.
Okay, he's going to study it a little bit more. All right, I'm taking the first period under, though, minus 101. I will go for that one. And now let's talk about Nashville, right? Coming off of the I haven't even studied this, although I should if I was a real serious handicapper, how these teams, after playing Vegas and losing, do on the next games.
That's a really
I don't have a good answer
point.
for that. I should know that. Probably someone in chat does. But now, if there is ever a bounce back spot, it's Nashville going up against Arizona, although, of course, a massive road favorite, which is to be expected. I was thinking again about a shot with an over here, even though Pekka Rinne can be great. What do you think, Jim?
I'm uncomfortable since the loss of Philip Forsberg. I just their power play is going to go, or the Predators' power play will go way down. Now they are getting Ryan Ellis back. He missed the first 38 games. What a great player he is. Remember watching him back in the day in Windsor. Just a power play specialist, but he's turned into a good defenseman in all situations. He's coming back, but losing Forsberg is a big thing. They've lost 5 of 7. The Coyotes are coming off that 5-2 loss to the Ducks. Now the Coyotes are getting Halmerson back, and he's only played 17 games this year. It's a big addition. It's gonna be a big boost. I remember when we talked at the beginning of the year, I was saying I like the Coyotes defense, and we just haven't had a chance to see them in fully healthy. I do not trust the Predators scoring like they did in the past without Philip Forsberg. Remember how I mentioned when he first got hurt, 17 of his 34 points are on the power play. I mean, that's a huge amount.
Arizona has really been giving up goals recently in a
really
major
have.
way.
And they gave up 3 goals in the last 8 minutes of that game. And they're just about to go on their bye week. A lot of these teams are going to be getting their bye weeks now. Well, here, James Ross says Predators are 8-2 in their last 10 versus a team with a losing record. That's interesting. CC924, nice to have you back, man. We've missed you, dude. Says Nashville might be worth a shot on the puck line. Yeah, it's...
All right, what do you think, Jim?
I'm going to stay off this Predators game.
All right, more funny comments making me laugh. I should get to them in a second, but I'm just thinking about what I want to do with the Nashville Arizona game. So you don't trust Nashville scoring here. No. Pekka can be lights out, of course, when he's on his game. I was thinking about over, but I'll hold off on that one for now. All right, let's see what else do we got. Anaheim, Edmonton. All these games are interesting. I'll tell you what, I just love breaking down these games, even if I don't wind up betting them. Edmonton, of course, shut out 2 games in a row, right, Jim?
10-0 in their last.
So what the hell is up with that? And then Anaheim rolling a little bit, winning a bunch of games in a row. Is it too obvious to take Anaheim here? Or is maybe Edmonton for a bounce back at a very low line, giving you some value? And also, just glancing at this first thing you think of, you got to think under, right? Edmonton a big under trender overall, and Anaheim has been a big under trender with Gibson in goal. So maybe an under, maybe Edmonton here, maybe Anaheim here. What do you think, Jim?
Well, first off, I have this weird thing where I never take the under after a team's been shut out 2 games in a row. I just feel like bounces start going their way. It might be a bias that I should get rid of, but I like the Ducks here. I'm getting a small plus, and it's not as much that I think the Oilers should be better. And I tried to figure out why are they so bad. You know that McDavid's gone scoreless in 3 straight games? That's the longest drought of his career. What a hockey player. Leon Draisaitl, listen to this. So their power play has not been good this year. Last year, Leon Draisaitl scored 10 goals and 17 assists on the power play. This year, he has 0 goals and 3 assists on the power play. This Ducks team is coming together, and I think they're going to roll. I think they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Getzlaf has 16 points in 11 games since returning from injury. Rickard Rakell has scored goals in 6 straight games, and he has 3 straight multi-point games. I'm betting on the Ducks more than I'm fading the Oilers, even though fading the Oilers makes sense. Cam Talbot has given up 18 goals in his last 4 games with an .877 save percentage. Their penalty killing at home is the worst in NHL history. In NHL history, they've allowed 28 goals and 63 chances with a 55.4% kill rate. What a joke. I mean, and you got to blame McClellan for part of it. You got to blame the coaching a bit. I mean, it's not just, it's systems as well as roster. But, I'm going to take Ducks on the money line. All
right, best line is plus 107 at a whole bunch of places. And so you would shy away from your shot with the under here. You think that Edmonton might bounce back scoring-wise here. I mean, Gibson's been great, right?
He has been great. Ryan Miller's been great. It doesn't matter who they put in goal. They're getting great goaltending.
And Anaheim, big offensive team. We're just average, not a terribly explosive team, right?
Yeah. Anaheim is starting to score. He's starting to score. And, their lines are coming together. And this is all without Perry. I trust the Ducks to keep scoring.
All right. Okay. I will hold off on that one. Let's talk about New Jersey and Dallas. Jimmy the Bag, I was on Dallas last game, and I convinced you to go on it, and we both took a loss on that one. Nice job by me, although there was another play that day that I convinced you to go on that was a winner. So you broke even on my on tailing me. But now New Jersey off 3 straight losses. Schneider back in goal, getting a big road underdog line here. Is this a shot to take New Jersey? What do you think?
I think that it might be a spot to take both New Jersey and Buffalo. Don't you think that one of them goes through? You're looking great. You had the Devils in their 5-2 victory against Dallas. Remember that? And I did not. And that was a very big play. The Devils have lost 3 straight, but still have an impressive road record, 10-5-4. They've impressed all year with this very youthful lineup. 8th in goals, 18th in goals allowed, but 6th in both power play and penalty killing. Stars are coming off that 2-1 loss that you speak of. They're still 14-5-1 at home. They're actually looking to get both Mark Mathot and Martin Hansel back from injury, which should be a boost. But you're getting such a big line. I mentioned the Sabres already. You're getting a giant line with the Sabres, but the Devils is a pretty big line. Are there still plus 150s hanging around?
They're actually, yes. Best line right now would be at Bet365 plus 155. Why are they such a big? And I forgot who it was, but earlier on in the year, someone made a comment which stuck in my craw. A lot of times, these big underdogs in NHL that look too good to be true often are. Is that what's going on here? I mean, obviously Dallas has been great at home overall in the year. They're coming off a loss. Is this an obvious spot to take Dallas, and we're just not seeing it? Are we being suckered here by the big underdog line with New Jersey? Because I was thinking of putting New Jersey at the -1 line, which right now would be. Let me see that one. That would be at plus 418 on the alternative puck line, plus 315 on the -1 line.
Holy shit! Dennis Schultz says Schneider was tired. He finally got a few days rest.
So maybe he comes back and he's like a little bit out of it for the first game back and gets scored on. I was also leaning over on this one, Jim.
Wow. This is a tricky spot. And, I mean, the last time you got the Devils when they came into Dallas, I believe you got like a plus 180 or something.
Yeah, it's plus 3. It would be the money line at plus 155 and the alternative puck line at plus 418 would come out to a plus 315 line on the minus 1 line.
Wow.
And when Dallas loses at home, they can lose by more than 1.
They can. But they become, with Hitchcock coaching them, they're a tighter group. They're much tighter defensively than they were.
Money chart says Dallas money line, I think, is correct, even with the big favorite line. Justin Searcy says, good luck with that, Pete, ... A lot of people not liking that lean. Eric Swiatek says, I did have a Devils lean this morning, but I can't pull the trigger. Something does seem a little bit off. Free Range Viz says, big plus odds, good for the Devils. What do you think?
Well, Adam Booth likes the over 5.5, which is what you were on.
Yeah, I was thinking about the over. What you like? You like Dallas to tighten up defensively now?
I do think they're going to tighten up defensively, but I don't that they have tightened up defensively under Hitchcock. But I think this is a nice spot for the Devils.
All right, you're going to make any pick on this, or shall we move on, Jimmy the Bag?
I'm going to watch the line movement and study it more, but I think I might end up adding both the Devils and the Sabres. I'm going to leave it alone at this point.
And just give me your thoughts on the over, because I'm thinking about adding that one on the New Jersey-Dallas game.
Well, Bishop is in goal. You're getting Bishop and Schneider. It was an interesting comment about Schneider coming back rested.
Is that a good thing for him or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, yeah, because Schneider knows he plays every game. He understands. He sets his schedule up accordingly. I think that's a good thing that he got a break. And, I love the guy. I think he's a great player. Yeah.
And what would you say to New Jersey on the team total over 2.5 plus 108?
Wow, Mr. Gogster is in on the over as well. Sorry, did you say that it's plus?
Over 2.5 plus 108 on the New Jersey team total.
Ooh.
But Bishop's in goal, right?
Yeah, but I don't think Bishop is an elite goaltender.
Eric Swiatek saying over or pass, I think. Reggie saying I like Dallas to roll. JK saying I can't trust Dallas anymore. Devils might sneak in a win. Interesting. All right, okay. I guess let's move on. How about that?
Sure.
We might be able to. I will take a pass on that one, but those are definitely leans that I'm thinking about. Maybe I'll add them in the afternoon show. They will definitely be in my leans column that I glance at in the afternoon shows to think about converting some of those to official picks. What else do we got here? Tampa Bay, Montreal, that's an interesting one, right? Montreal stinking up the joint, even at home. Tampa Bay off of 2 straight shutout wins, right? Rolling, right? Maybe an under here. Is Tampa Bay as a road favorite too obvious? I think that feels trappy to me.
You know what? It's felt trappy before, and I kept hammering them, and I keep winning with them. So I'm not going to be. Yes, both of those plays seem like the play, and I'm making them both.
Okay.
I know that it's not. It is proven to not really work taking a minus 1.5 and an under. But I'm going to do both of those. I'm taking the Lightning at minus 1.5, and I'm taking the under 5.5. Vasilevsky leads the NHL in wins, goals against, average save percentage. He's a shutout streak of 164 minutes and 29 seconds. Kucherov just had his 10-game point streak stop, but he still leads the league with 56 points. Lightning are 8-2 in their last 10, and you know their numbers. First in goals for, second goals allowed, second power play. The Habs are coming off a 4-1 home loss to the Sharks on Tuesday. They've now lost 5 straight. Shea Weber is not going to come back before the All-Star break. Galchenyuk has the flu and is questionable. This, to me, screams both those bets, and I'm going to take them both.
Okay, when you do anti-correlated bets like that, on the one hand, yes, they are anti-correlated, which is not good to bet both. On the other hand, they hedge each other out a little bit. If you wanted to, you could just take the if your whole thing is predicated on Montreal not scoring, you could take the Montreal team total under 2.5 at minus 115 if you wanted to. I mean, if you wanted to not take 2 bets, just take one based on Montreal not scoring. Team total. I'm not trying to tell you what to do here, Jimmy the Bag. I'm just making
that's an interesting.
We're just analyzing these numbers, Jimmy the Bag.
That's an interesting spot, but I really feel like a 3-0 game and a 4-1, 3-1 game is something that's simple. Adam thinks I'm overthinking it. Tampa or nothing. Elio says, I'm with you, Jimmy. Tampa's the best fucking team. And I said this yesterday. I would take Tampa to win the Cup if I knew that they were going to be healthy at the end of the year, and I just can't trust Stamkos being healthy. No, I like both of these bets, and I'm going to take them both.
Okay, so you're going to take the Tampa Bay puck line, right? That is going to be plus 178. Tampa Bay puck line plus 178. That's the line right now at Pinnacle, and you want the under.
Yeah.
That best line would be under 5.5 minus 107 at Bet Online. Under 5.5 minus 107. Not bad. They do hedge each other out a little bit, which is nice.
I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, so you're basically doubling up on Montreal not scoring a lot, and if that happens, you got two bets that are both probably positive EV, and also hedge each other out a little bit, which is very, very nice. All right, what else do you like here, Jim, from today's card?
Well, I like this a lot, but the line keeps going exactly. Right when I saw this morning, I should have just hammered it immediately, and I did not. I really like the under 6. But I don't know if I want to take it at minus 135. I love the under 6 in Jackets Avalanche. I just see this as the Jackets are a team that is not scoring, and I don't see that changing. The Avs have won 3 straight. Now, Varlamov was hurt in the second period of the Avs' overtime victory over the Jets, and Bernier is coming in, but he looked pretty good replacing him. This number 1 line that the Avs have continues to roll. Rantanen now is a 10-game point streak. Oliver Bjorkstrand scored both goals for the Jackets. They got to dig deep to find offense because they don't have Wenberg, Atkinson, or Dubinsky. I really like the under 6, but I just hate taking a minus 135 on unders.
Heritage, we can give you minus 120.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Under 6, minus 120?
Heritage, minus 120. Oh. We use these lines, 12 o'clock Eastern time, Colorado under 6, minus 120 if you want that one.
Oh, absolutely. I'll jump on that one.
Okay, if we didn't give you that one, then you would have to take, minus 130 at Pinnacle. But Heritage has minus 120. So yeah. Okay, Jim's going to take the Colorado-Columbus game under 6, minus 120. That is the current line at Heritage. And then what else do we got here on the guard? What did we not talk about? I guess the only game we didn't talk about, we talked about them all, except for Buffalo, Minnesota, right?
We haven't talked about Kings Flames either.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. You have anything to say about either of those games, Jim?
I do. I mean, yes, I think Minnesota is a good hockey team. But getting such a huge chance with the Sabres is a shot that I think is worth taking. Sabres have collected at least a point in 4 of their last 5 games. Jack Eichel has 4 goals, 3 assists, and is a +4 in those games. He must play like an elite player for this team to have a chance. Ryan O'Reilly and Kyle Okposo have been disappointments this year, but they've come on in the last 5 games as well. The Wild are coming off a big 5-1 win over the Panthers. I saw the return of Zach Parise. They're 13-4-2 at home. I expect them to make a run to the playoffs. Niederreiter is about to come back. I feel like this is a good spot to take a giant dog.
Yeah.
But I like Minnesota at home, so it would be making a bet just because of the line.
Which is, it's always all about the line, Jim. I mean, if they offered you plus 400, that would be a no-brainer play on pretty much any hockey team in any game, right?
Yeah, you're right. Well,
no. Plus 800 would be a bet on any hockey team in any game. If you had Tampa Bay at home against, Arizona, maybe that wouldn't be a good bet. But do you think that? I mean, anything can happen in NHL. If I was going to take, I was thinking about Buffalo as well for the same reasons that you were talking about. And I was thinking about maybe taking a shot with them at -1. That would be plus 422 at -1. Can they come in here and get a 2-puck win?
Wow.
2-goal win.
I mean, Minnesota is a very good home team, and
they are.
But man, you'd be getting such a juicy payday.
And Buffalo is still a professional hockey team. Can Dubnyk be scored on? Do you trust Buffalo's goalie here? It's Lehner, right?
It's Lehner, who has been playing better. The whole team's been playing better. I think I could get a plus 193 at Pinnacle. I have to take it. And if I'm going to take it, then I'm going to take the Devils too, because I want to have both so that at least one will hit. So I'm going to add both the Sabres and the Devils to my official pick.
Okay, you're taking Buffalo on the money line.
Yes.
Okay, the best line would be plus 193. That is the line right now at Pinnacle. And you're also taking New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Plus 155. That is the best line right now. That is at Bet 365. And I will go on that one with you. I was thinking that because of the line, Buffalo is worth a shot. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Buffalo -1.
Wow.
-1. The money line part of that is plus 193. The alternative puck line part of that at Pinnacle right now is plus 541. You combine those. I have my little -1 calculator here. The -1 line with those two lines is plus 422.
Wow.
That's a juicy line there, Jim.
Extremely
Can you imagine
juicy.
if I cash that and I get 4.22 units added onto my record?
Wow, and Brandon Cummings says Buffalo is still a professional hockey team, but the Cleveland Browns are also a professional team. That don't mean shit, gentlemen. I disagree.
I bet the Cleveland Browns plus the points in Week 17. They didn't win. They didn't win, but they damn sure cashed.
Yeah.
Now I understand that they have to win this game, Buffalo. But I wouldn't say that Buffalo. I mean, Cleveland going up against other NFL teams was like a really. I mean, Buffalo can get a win here and there. They're not that bad, right?
They're not that bad. They're not getting outlet passes from their defensemen.
But
Ryan O'Reilly and Kyle Okposo, I thought they were. Imagine having these two guys playing 22 minutes a game. They're big forwards. They can bang. They have soft hands. O'Reilly can win faceoffs. I thought this team would be better than they are.
Here we go. McGoxter saying big balls, Loshak. And it's true that if I was down or if I was up 1.5 units, I probably wouldn't be doing that. But I do think that there's, that there's probably a little bit of value here because of the number. Minnesota's tough at home, but I'm going to take Buffalo -1. Current lines plus 193 on the money line at Pinnacle, and the alternative puck line plus 541. That comes out to plus 422 on the -1 line.
That's juicy.
What do you think? Cody AV saying, how'd you do other weeks betting the Browns Loshak? Well, I didn't bet the Browns in other weeks, Cody AV. That's how I did, tough guy. You know what I'm saying? I tell these guys, I cashed with them in week 17. They're assuming I bet him every other week. I didn't bet him every other. I probably bet him a few weeks. I don't even remember, but yeah, for sure. McGogg's saying Wild isn't exactly too scary of a team. Yes, they're a good team. And you remember there was a time recently where I took them on the home puck line and I cashed with that. They're a good team, but they're not a scary team. And at a certain point, it is all about the number. If you start throwing up there, how about 600? How about 1,100? How about 1,500? You have to bet any team against any team if the number gets high enough, right?
I agree.
There you go. All right. Coffee kicking in. I'm psyched. It's been I'm feeling better despite my my bad day in college basketball yesterday. All right, so let's review the NHL picks. Final thoughts on NHL, and then we'll quickly touch on college basketball, and then we'll wrap up the show. I took Pittsburgh -1, Buffalo -1, the Pittsburgh game over 5.5, and the first period over -113. And I took the St. Louis game first period under -101, even though Dana Lane reportedly loves the over, presumably on the full game in Vegas and St. Louis. Jimmy the Bag, a ton of picks. Buffalo money line plus 193, Anaheim money line plus 107, Tampa Bay puck line plus 178, and the under on that game 5.5 minus 107. He's also on New Jersey money line plus 155, the Pittsburgh game over 5.5 minus 110, the Toronto game over 5.5 minus 105, and the Colorado game under 6 minus 120. So a whole lot of plays from Jimmy the Bag. I got a bunch of leans that I might convert to plays in the 6 o'clock version of this show.
We have to touch on the Kings Flames game.
Okay,
quickly,
let's touch on it.
If you don't mind me starting off, the Kings are coming off this decisive 5-0 victory over the Oilers. After Maroon was given that 5-minute major and game misconduct for the controversial hit on Doughty, Kings scored 3 power play goals on that 5-minute advantage. That is impressive. Flames have played poorly at home all year, going just 10-11-0. They are 4-4-2 over their past 10s. They're only getting offense from Goodrow and Monahan. Jagger has gotten over his latest injury. He's moving up to the second line to take over from Frolik, who is out with a broken jaw. I've not been handling the Kings well. My dad was offended that I took the Oilers -1.5 against the Kings in that 5-0. He couldn't believe the stupidity of that pick. And I just don't have the right read, I think, on the Kings. And so I'm going to leave this game alone. I don't know if you have a feel for it, Pete. But
the Kings in Calgary.
Yeah.
Let me see what my notes were. My notes were, yes, my notes on this one, probably best just to pass.
Yeah, the Flames are bad at home. The Kings have difficulty finding offense, and they did on that power play. And Drew Doughty is playing like a Norris Trophy winner this year, and he deserves it at this point.
Brent says Kings Flames under is a lock. I think that was the way I was leaning if I was going to take anything, although that is one of these -128, -130s lines. First period under might be worth a play on that one, -111. What's your take on the under on that one? What's your take on Jonathan Quick? Is he lights out right now, or can he be scored on?
Quick is a good goalie. Is he still a top 5 goalie in the NHL? I don't think he is. I think he will have those numbers because of the incredible defense he has in front of him, but he's a goaltender that you can count on and trust and believe day in and day out.
Kings are on the third game of their Western Canada swing. Is that a bad spot for them, or is that maybe a spot we want to grab easy money with Calgary?
Well, I remember earlier this year there was a few teams who on the third game of the Western Canada trip were losing. And you asked me that same question.
Yeah.
And I believe I thought if it's a 3-game trip on the third game, I think they're going to come out. They're almost home, but it was wrong. So I'm kind of nervous to give any kind of angle on that.
My lean on that LA Calgary game is on the first period under, which you know what? I might if they're on the third game of a trip like that, are they going to play tight defensively at least to start? Are they going to be a little bit slow?
I mean, they're feeling great about themselves.
Yeah.
But they're in Alberta in the wintertime, so it's not like they were going out partying.
Yeah.
Rem Most think Western Canada is being swept. Lee Davis does think Quick is a top 5 goalie,
Yeah.
and arguably, I mean, he's a great goaltender.
And Smith, what's your take on LA's likely ability to score on Smith?
Well, I just don't think LA has the speed on offense to score a lot. In saying that, I don't think Smith is a top 10 or top 15 goaltender in the NHL. I think he's susceptible. He impressed me in the beginning of the year for a 35-year-old goal. I believe he's 30. He might even be younger than that. But he played better than I expected him to. I guess Coyotes last year were just dreadful in front of him. And the Flames have a good defense. So, you know what? If the Flames had a great goaltender, he'd have numbers like Quick because the Flames have that good of a defense.
I'm taking it. I'm taking the first period under 1.5, -111, LA and Calgary. That's why I was leaning. My note was probably best to pass, but I am going to take the first period under. I don't really want to take the full game under, but I will take the first period under. So I have added that on. Once again, I'm on Pittsburgh -1, Buffalo -1, the Pittsburgh game over 5.5, and the first period over. The Calgary game, first period under -111, and the St. Louis Vegas game, first period under -101. Jim is on Buffalo moneyline +193, Anaheim moneyline +107. Cody AV was saying that there's just they keep offering money fading Edmonton. Anyone who's on Edmonton is just a sucker. Jim is taking Anaheim +107 tonight. Tampa Bay +178 on the puck line. The under 5.5 in that one. New Jersey money line +155. The Pittsburgh game over 5.5. The Toronto game over 5.5. The Colorado game under 6 -120 at Heritage. And that's about it.
That's interesting. Interesting. Smith's career numbers versus the Kings, very good. Rem Most just came with an interesting stat. I did not know that. .932 save percentage, 2.26 goals against average. Wow. It's these games, I'm happy. I'm thankful to stay off the Kings-Flames game. I think it's just very difficult.
Yeah. CC924 says full game under, Pete. He likes the full game under. I might do that. Brendan Cummings says the Kings slow the game down tremendously, but their goalie is so-so in my opinion. You get whacked for big games sometimes. Well, every goalie can get whacked for big games sometimes, but you wouldn't say Quick is so-so, would you?
No. I expected him to have I thought he was going to be trending down this year, and he might be in the most marginal of ways, but he's still a good goaltender.
Yes. All right, great comments here. Cody AV saying Oilers suck. Free Range Vid saying I don't get why Kings dogs. Let's see other comments here. Cody AV just comment after comment about the overrated Oilers, getting the value. Imploring everyone to get the value while you can. Fading the Oilers. Looking at some other comments here. And I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
I guess we can wrap it up. That does it for NHL. Now we can move on. Just quickly, let's just talk for about a couple minutes about college basketball. And we can throw the college basketball record up because even though I had a shitty day yesterday, I didn't have too many bad losses except for the friggin' LaSalle game, which was just a bad call. And I am still up about 20 units on the year in college basketball. Jimmy the Bag, of course, is still up. Does great research coming off a losing day, but before that he had a bunch of winning days in a row. Tonight, I don't know if you counted how many games that we've got tonight. It's 49. Jimmy the Bag. If you take away the 6 o'clock Eastern game, which maybe you want to, 48. 48 games on college basketball tonight. I will crunch as many of those as I can. And once again, I'm going to be treading carefully. Because like I've said, early January to mid-January has always been a down spot of the year for me in college basketball. And this year, it has been again. So let me see. Should I pull up? Have you looked at any of the games yet, Jim?
I have looked at them. I haven't done. I'm going to spend the next 5 hours hammering them. There's some interesting spots. The Houston at Wichita State game's very exciting. There's already been a lot of talk in the forum about the Maryland game up against number 1 Michigan State. First off, I enjoy capping first off all the ranked teams. So those games will be hammered immediately. But then, there's some exciting spots. I like the Troy at Texas Arlington game already. I've got to lean towards Texas Arlington, but I'm going to study that further. And then, it's a huge card. I'm not going to let it overwhelm me. And I'm gonna crush it as best I can.
Sal Niagara saying, Loshak, give us a 49-team parlay. Again, it doesn't take me it takes me a lot of time to crunch the games. Not as much time as Jim per game because I do a lot of just numbers crunching, and that's how I decide on my edges. And once again, like yesterday, you see a lot of games where my numbers said under with the Tulsa UConn game was a solid game, but as I said, my gut told me that was wrong. I went with it anyway. Went way over. over. Same deal with the South Florida game and a bunch of total situations like that. So I'll be treading very carefully. But the one area where I find that I do have still maintained value in this part of the season is in those kind of like home teams going up against some of the top teams, some of the ranked teams. We saw that yesterday. Like the Florida State game, classic game there. Wake Forest at home, classic situation there. Those kinds of point spreads are the kinds of games that I do like to take at this point in the year where my methods are not so bad. So a point is, I will crunch the hell out of those 48 games. We'll come back and we'll discuss the hell out of these games. We will definitely be getting a lot of illuminating comments in the chat box because a lot of college basketball experts, ton of talent in the fucking chat box. College basketball,
so much talent,
Maxwell Smart, so many guys knowing what they're talking about, and we'll read off their opinions. We'll discuss their opinions, and Jim and I will give our official picks, and hopefully we'll have some winners in college basketball tonight because
I would like just to, before we close off, John Bolden said, finally caught this show live. Love this show. You guys make my pockets fat.
Who said that? Jerron Bolden?
Jerron Bolden.
Could you save the whatever comments you got now and mail that one to me as well?
For sure.
All right, thank you very much. I live for these friggin' comments. I want to have like a brain scan. I want to have my brain hooked up to a brain scanning machine so you can see what happens to my brain when I read those comments visually. You'll be like, holy shit, Loshak really does like those fucking comments. Look at that fucking dopamine squirting all over everywhere just because some dude said great show. All of a sudden, Loshak's got dopamine every synapse in his brain. So I really appreciate all the shows. We hope that we can bring you entertainment even when we don't necessarily have winning days. And when we have winning days, we hope that we can give you both entertainment and winners, which is the best.
That's
right?
the best.
But the entertainment we hope can be there every day. The winners, of course, in sports betting will never be there every day, no matter who you are, even if you're Billy Walters. But we do our best. Our record overall in these shows is respectable, and I'm happy about that. And we'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in.